Welcome to our online real life program. We are a team from Aimless Chapter International. Pastor is Pastor Joseph Richard Magongo. He sends you greetings. And today we are back with our real life program. We are back with our real life program and would like to welcome you. Today we'll be talking about financial literacy. But before that, I would like to introduce the ladies I'm seated with to introduce themselves. I'm Dr. Christine, and so happy and excited to be back. Ladies.
Thank you, Dr. Christine, for inviting me.
You're welcome.
Grace Navanakulia, a Sunday school teacher at Aimless Chapel, the children's ministry.
Hello, our dear viewers. My name is Priscilla, and I work with the follow-up department at Aimless Chapel. So happy to be here.
Thank you, ladies. So, to our viewers out there, we're going to be talking about financial literacy in a layperson's perspective. We've heard about financial literacy with NSSF and so many other different groups. But today we want to break it down. We want to find out what is it. To someone out there, to a lady selling maize, roasting maize, or something out there, what is it? You may also be there, you're doing something, but I mean you've attended these things, but you've never conceptualized it to the details, to bringing it down to the point. So that's what we want to do today. And with me today, ladies, what do you think? What is financial literacy in a lay person's perspective? What do you think?
I like in a lay person's perspective, because many times, financial literacy has been taught. People have been trained in these things, but they end up not, understanding it, not practicing it, simply because it has not been broken to the language that they understand. So to me, if today I meet a lady that is roasting maize, and I'm going to talk to her about financial literacy, I would say financial literacy is a person being learned, or a person being aware of their incomes. Maybe they are working, and most times when you talk about financial literacy, people quickly think of the salaries, those that are earning in monthly salary. But even me, who is earning a 1,000 every day, that is my income. So I should be aware of it, and then I should get solutions of how I can save from on it, and how I can spend and invest on that 1,000. So financial literacy to me is being aware of your incomes, being able to save, and also being able to invest. That's what I would tell someone.
Thank you, Grace. Priscilla, what do you think?
Just to chip in from where Teacher Grace has stopped, I think financial literacy basically deals with how you handle your finances, how you handle your incomes, like what you earn on a daily. Okay, even if you're not earning on a monthly, but what you earn on a daily, how you're able to handle that money, and for it to be able to multiply into something greater the next day. So that's what I understand by financial literacy.
In other words,
And for your information, it's not to our viewers, it's not only about what you earn. You could be a student and you get your pocket money. Maybe you are a day scholar and your parents give you something every day. So you're not working, you're a student, but you get something, money. So financial literacy deals with money as itself. So from what you get as a student, that is where you get something to save, and also something to invest in future.
what I'm getting from you ladies, it's like someone has to plan. It starts with planning. So it's not a matter of how much you earn. It's not a matter. It doesn't depend on what you're doing, but that little something that makes you earn a living. How are you planning for it? How are you planning for your future? With the 1,000 you get every day, how are you planning for your 5 years from now? So financial literacy, if we are to break it down, how are you planning for your future? How are you planning for your children? Or you may not even be a mother or a father. Oh, how are you planning for your future after school? So we are bringing it to a level whereby you have to plan. And this planning involves budgeting, involves saving, involves what kind of investment someone is going to do. So that is what we want to break down. Let's talk about budgeting, ladies.
I really love the perspective of budgeting. So as we break financial literacy down in the language that every one of us can understand, is what I would tell everyone is you must have a budget. And I would say you must have a daily budget. How do you spend on a daily basis?
What is a budget, Grace? I may not have gone to school. You're telling me a budget.
Okay. A budget
What is it?
is, remember we've said that financial literacy deals with spending and investing and saving. So that is where the budget comes from. The budget is this plan of, if I'm to break it, is the plan of the things that you are going to spend your money on, the incomes you get. What are you going to spend your 1,000 on a daily basis?
Okay.
So that is where you get the budget from. That I have to buy cooking oil, I have to buy onions, I have to buy soap, I have to buy, to some of us we buy water. So how are you going to spend this 1,000 on those things? So those things compiled together make a budget.
All right.
Just to dive in there from where Teacher Grace has stopped, setting a budget, that I think we should also bring in the perspective of opportunity cost, or setting up priorities while making those budgets. Because now, like for example, girls, like the youth these days, in case you have the budget perspective and you're planning to buy, maybe you want to update your wardrobe, maybe you want to buy this, you want to buy that, I think it's better you set up a priority list and you write down all your needs. And then you start arranging them in the order of their priorities. You're like, okay, I can do without this, I can, this one is more important than this. So that when you start spending, you spend more on what is more important, so that you do not waste time and money on the less important things.
What I'm getting from you, Priscilla, is that we have needs and we have wants.
Exactly.
So let's find out, what do we need? Because most of the times actually we spend money on what we want, not what we need.
Yes.
But it's important to know, what do I need as a person? As I'm getting this 10,000 a day, what do I need? If we start from here and know what we need, other than spending on anyhow with even on what we want, yet we can do away with the wants. I think that is a good deal. So let's talk about more of a budget. Give us an example.
Like you've said, I love where this discussion is going. Like we've discovered that everyone has a need and a want. And like it has been aired out there that we are in a generation of dot-com generation. So internet has become a need. Much as it is a want to some people, but it has become a need because people use internet to for internet is their, work. Some people are website builders, so they need internet. Others are, they work from and on the internet. So it has, in a way, has become a need. But the advice I've come with today for all of us, I'm going to draw my example on the daily data bundles. I would say on the data bundles in general. Because it has become a need, everyone, almost 9%, 9 people out of the 10 people you meet, they are using internet. They are having smartphones. 9 people out of the 10 people you meet on a daily basis. And you know what has been consuming us is because of lack of planning, lack of a budget, lack of setting priorities, we end up spending more or much on internet than saving, than investing. So I would draw my example on the data bundles, and I would take my example on the 2,000 shillings that you use to buy your bundles. your daily bundles. You know, we have 7 days in a week. And if every day you buy bundles for 2,000, I'm assuming this person buys only once a day. But there are scenarios
When you buy even
when
3
you buy
times.
more than once. So in these 7 days, every day you load data bundles for 2,000. It is going to be 14,000 a week. 7 days down the road, that is 14,000. You are a student, or you are a person waiting for salary at the end of the month. But guess what? At the end of the 7 days, you have spent 14,000 only on data bundles. And in the 4 weeks of the month, you know every month has 4 weeks. In the 4 weeks of the month, if you multiply 7 times 14,000, you would have spent 56,000 a month. How much are you earning at the end of the day? What have you left for the rest of the list on the budget, you know?
Sorry, Grace, just to cut you short, and you may even find this person is buying bundles of 2,000 every day. But then you're on Facebook, you're on Instagram, watching people's pictures, those who are making money from the internet you're using. So they are making money as you spend your money.
Yes.
Can you imagine?
So that's where I was coming. But I wanted us to go through how we spend, I would say, foolishly. Some are ignorant, like we said. You don't know that you're actually spending, yet you are spending, because at the end of the day you have your 5K. So when you get 2K and buy data, that is not too much. But I want to draw this picture that 7 days down the road, 14,000 gone. 1 month down the road, 56,000 gone. And at the end of the year, on average, you have spent over 600,000.
Do you know 600,000 you can start a business? I can
Exactly.
go and buy my G-nuts, and I can, actually it's more than G-nuts. I can go and buy these new clothes or new shoes, and I start a business just with that 600,000.
So 600, and then the question comes, like you say, what are you spending your bundles on? Are you this person that buys bundles to make money, or you're this person that buys bundles to spend money? And if you are this person that buys bundles to spend money, what are you spending on?
That's an interesting one. Priscilla, what do you talk about that? Buying bundles to spend money.
I think Teacher Grace is driving us to a more interesting topic called financial discipline. Because many people, especially the youth, they spend very, very much time on social media, internet, navigating through plastic lives. Because trust me, the lives that people put up there are not real. They will post pictures wearing clothes that they've borrowed, or maybe they are models, and then you I don't even know how to describe.
Sorry, if you're from Channel Car, it's a joke.
You are nobody. You're seated on your phone in your room, scrolling through those pictures, and you want to be like those people.
And remember that English people say, time wasted is money
not
wasted.
gain.
By the way, do you know that some of these guys we see, you look at Instagram, Facebook, we're admiring this person. They have worked there for years to be there. But for you want to come, yes, 1 year, 1 month, you want to be like them. And you're spending all this money. You're not planning, you're not thinking. At times, actually, you say it's ignorance. You say, I'm still young, I'm in school, I still have time. But you can imagine, we've read about cases where people started young and they have built themselves up in just a short time. So it's not about the age, it's not about how much money you have, but what do you want what do you want your future to look like?
Yeah.
But it starts now when you plan better.
So my advice would be for us to go back. This is a food for thought. Go back and recheck your expenditure on daily bundles. We have just come up with only data, but people spend a lot more on many things that I would say, like Priscilla said, plastic life. Like, why would you need, you are a student, why would you need to buy a shoe of 100,000 just to make a TikTok video?
That really bothers me a lot.
After a TikTok video,
300,000 on a shoe.
I'm telling you, and you're not known anywhere. So at the end of the day, you get frustrated because you don't have views, because YouTube has not recognized you. YouTube recognizes people that have 1 million plus views, and at the end of the day, you're just there frustrated because you bought your cashew, you made a TikTok video, it did not sell, so you're pushed to buy more data bundles.
And most of the time, people who buy shoes like 300 plus lack even what to eat. They can go a night without food, but they save to buy that shoe. Can you imagine?
That reminds me, do you know that you can get the shoes that people buy expensively? You know, if you go to where these shoes are brought in a wholesale package, you can get the very same shoe at a very good price. So it's like how we said, ignorance. If you do not know, you're really going to miss out on a lot. So about financial literacy, we've talked about the budget, we've talked about planning, we talked about someone knowing what they want to have in their future. So the other idea I want us to talk about is spending aimlessly. You know, you can move in around town and you're a lady, you see this nice bag, and yes, maybe you went somewhere, or you have your car 100k, and you're like, let me buy this bag of 80k. But sincerely, you're buying it. Do you need it at that moment? Is it a need? Maybe you even have to go and print some documents that you need at school, but because you've seen a bag and your neighbor has this nice bag, so you also want to have it. What do you guys think about that? That aimless spending?
I would say that aimless spending comes from lack of having a budget. Because if I've set, and also lacking specific goals, people they normally don't set specific goals. In a month, what do I want?
Talk about goals, Grace, sorry to cut you short. In a lame person's perspective, what is a goal? You're telling me a goal, I've had a goal. What is it?
A goal is a target. That thing, like Priscilla said, that priority that you want to have to achieve at the end of the month. We are breaking it from the year, because normally we set goals at the beginning of the year, and people are relaxed. They wake up in October, 2022 is ending. Then they pull out their books where they wrote the visions. You understand? So we are trying to break it to a daily expenditure, a weekly, a monthly, so that you're conscious about your day-to-day living. So our goal is that target that you have. What do you want to achieve? I want to buy a shoe. Which kind of shoe? Be specific. If you want a wedding shoe, do not go and buy a boat or what they call gladiators. It will not work on a wedding, and then you will have to go back and then spend on a wedding shoe. So be specific with what you're buying. Be specific, set a specific goal. So what you asked is, people lack a budget, they lack specific goals, they have money, so they walk with the whole amount of a 50 note to town, and moreover they are passing in Chikubo or Owino, where there are many things. They seem to be cheap, but maybe you don't like it at that time. So people spend,
need it actually.
People spend aimlessly because they lack budgets, they lack specific set goals. So you pull out your 10K note and buy a notebook. You're buying a notebook, you don't even have any knowledge of what you're going to write in that notebook, simply because your classmate had it and you had them saying, this is my notebook.
I think it actually drives us back to self-discipline, because there is power in being content with what you have. Otherwise, if you're this person who keeps on hallucinating about every good thing that you see, you're adoring this, you like that, then that's going to infringe directly on your financial position. You cannot grow like that, because you're going to continuously spend on things that do not actually need at that time.
Ladies, thank you. Our time is fast spent. I would like us to Grace, what are your parting shots?
My parting shot, I believe you will invite me back here.
Yes, we are back here next Sunday on the same topic.
So-
financial literacy in
so-
a layman's person's perspective.
I want to
Yes.
advise the person that is viewing us. Today is Sunday. You've been buying daily bundles of 2,000 every day. Next Sunday, we come back here. Those will be 7 days down the road. I believe they will comment. If you put this into practice, she will need to see your comment of how much you have saved this coming week. So my challenge to all of us that are listening in is try to go, and if you're using whatever network you're using, try to buy a weekly bundle. It is a challenge that needs self-discipline. Try it out. Try to buy a weekly bundle this week, only this week. If it doesn't work out for you, you will say Grace is a liar. Try to buy a weekly bundle this week. Purpose to do it today, like right now. Get your 5,000. Buy a weekly bundle that gives you 5 plus 100 MBs. Limit on what you view on your internet, so that weekly bundle can take you up to the last day of the 5 or 7 days. So my advice, my parting, advice is buy a weekly bundle, put it in practice, buy a weekly bundle, try to get 2,000 every day that you've been spending buying daily bundles. Save it, put it somewhere, and at the end of this week, count how much you will have. Then you will, trust me, you will never go back spending on daily bundles.
Thank you, Grace. Priscilla, what are your parting shots today?
My parting shots to the viewers out there is to set a priority list. Whenever you're going out shopping, whenever you're budgeting is good, but you should have a priority list. You put what comes first as your number one, then the rest will come as options. Then trust me, your financial position will change. You'll thank me later.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it for yourselves. Before we end, and to encourage our viewers to please share this link. Share with your friends. These things may look obvious, but they are not obvious. Share, like the page, send us questions. Share your comments with us. Let's hear from you. It encourages us to know that you're out there watching. Once again, I want to thank you so much for tuning in to our Excellence Chapel Online Real Life program. We'll be back again next week, same time, with financial literacy in a layperson's perspective. Thank you so much. We wish you a blissful week. God bless.